Hey beautiful people, welcome. Today we're going to talk about what are career advancement opportunities. What if a promotion has very little to do with just hard work? Your promotion isn't just a story of a progression, it's actually about the value that you create. Could your next level be as close as just one fabulous offer away? By the end of this video, you'll understand why promotions go to innovators and not just to the performers, because as an innovator you can sometimes be one of the top performers. You'll also be able to name the value that you create, which is essential if you want to be able to get promoted. I also want to be able to help you shift away from waiting to be chosen to designing your own career path and getting yourself on it. I also want to be able to show you how to apply the practice impact model, which you'll see in the innovation mindset, to be able to think about what your career value progression looks like. And I want you to walk away with 3 practical ways to accelerate your career and put it into action today. So 3 practical ways to accelerate your career fast starting today. Step number 1 is to really ask, where are you already adding value? And do that instead of going, where's my next move? Where's my next position? What's my next job? That's effectively kind of putting the cart before the horse, so to speak. What you're looking to do is you're looking to identify areas where you know you're already pretty great and you're already adding value. And if you can understand what those are, then what you're looking to do is to be able to say, where can I kind of double down on that? Where can I add more value? Let's say a particular technical lead role, and you recognize that you excel at being able to do cross-functional collaborations, which, as we all know, are kind of the holy grail of innovation, because that's where some of the great leaps forward can come from. So what you're looking to do there is you're going, I'm really good at doing cross-functional collaboration. So rather than saying, I want to find a job that has a title called cross-functional collaborator, you're much, much more effective if you can say, okay, I've done one of those successfully. Now I need to look at what was the value that it produced, and I need to look for my next opportunity. So pick something that comes relatively easily to you, that you have an opportunity to be truly masterful at, and then double down on that and figure out how you can articulate the value that you're creating in there. The second one is you can create value for yourself in terms of how you move through the system. What's been noticed over time is that the top performers, the people who get the most opportunities and get the most promotions, are the people who see the entire system that they're working in and see themselves as someone who is contributing to that and someone who is improving on that. So if you begin to ask yourself, where can I add value to the system as a whole? So to my earlier point of cross-functional collaboration is a great example of how do you improve the system as a whole. But what you're looking to do is you're looking to be able to understand not just how it works for you, but how it works for everyone around you as well. And if there's opportunities for you to be able to identify a project or an opportunity that you can make an offer around, that where the system is fundamentally broken. So it might be, for example, something like our document sharing and collaboration across multiple different functions is very poor. And you've been doing some digging around on that because it's an area of interest for you. And it's something that you now want to be able to bring, not just for your own purposes, but for the whole team. That might be an offer that you might make to your boss, where you would say, I've been using this document collaboration approach or methodology or software, and I found it to be very valuable, and I think it's something that we could implement for our team that would allow us to be able to be more effective and more innovative. So look at the system as a whole and see where there are opportunities for you to improve the system based on you doing some of the things that you love and some of the things that you're already terrific at. Third way to be able to think about it in terms of immediate actionable opportunities that you can take is, wherever you're helping others, that's where the opportunities are. So if you see other people struggling and you're not struggling, you found a way of dealing with things. So for example, you might be really great at having what a lot of people refer to as difficult conversations. And I talk about those in another video where we're actually looking at how do people deal with what I refer to as breakdowns, when things don't go according to plan and they don't go as you expected. And how do you handle that without it being confrontational and aggressive for other people? You may be great at that because by some freak of luck, you may have grown up in a situation where it was perfectly acceptable to be able to name it when things didn't work and to sit down with someone in your family or in your school or your teacher when you were younger and to be able to explain what it is that you thought was going on based on something not working the way that it should without blaming and shaming people. So one of the powerful things to do is to be able to recognize where that's happening around you. So one of the ones that's pretty common one is your onboarding process for new people coming onto your team. And you may be an individual contributor on the team, or you may be, an early stage manager on the team. But you see, when people come on, they struggle to get themselves oriented, and it takes them 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 months to really be able to kind of hit the road and add value to the team. One of the most powerful things you can do in terms of improving your ability to be able to be a top performer and get yourself promoted is to identify an area that may not be your direct responsibility, but that you could collaborate with someone else who it is under their purview, and to be able to improve that process. So your onboarding process is always a really simple one. They rarely work as well as they should because things are evolving and moving so fast. It's a great opportunity for you to be able to say, hey, this is something that I think I could improve, and I'd like to work with whoever your HR business partner is to be able to help you to do that. And so what you're looking for is areas where you're doing great and other people are struggling, and you're happy to be able to do the knowledge sharing and improve the system and make it better for them. Whenever you're seen as contributing to enabling other people, that immediately makes you management material. And that's something that you're looking to be able to demonstrate as effectively and as fast as you can when you're in a new role. So in my book, The Innovation Mindset, and I'll put a link actually to the graphic down below in the comments, but I talk about the practice impact model, and some of it is that I'm encouraging you to be able to build some of these practices that I'm talking about in the videos. And the practice impact model is really a ladder of progress. It's like a roadmap for you as you start thinking about, how do I add more value? How do I become more innovative? How do I show my value? And how do I measure my value? And how do I help other people to be able to see that value and appreciate that value? And so in here, what you'll see, so this is the graphic that we're going to be talking about, and as I said, I'll put a link to it in the comments below. But you're moving away from simply recognizing competencies and going, I'm checking this box, I'm checking this box, I'm good at this, to people who are to a person who's building deliberate practices around offering value to other people around you. And what happens is you end up with making offers, you end up having richer conversations because people want to design and co-invent with you, and you begin to do very specific design around the processes that support you or don't support you. They could be broken processes that you want to improve upon. And what happens over time, as you get better and more sophisticated at that, you end up being able to build agile, co-inventive processes, because agility is really built into your ability to be able to design and manage the networks of commitments around you, to design and support the people who are working with you, to design processes for them to improve their ability to be able to do their work. So it's moving you up the ladder, and the ladder is also a ladder of very strong value. So one of the simplest ways to think about this in terms of how to do this is to identify your internal customers, and you're essentially building a following of people who go, this person helped me and they were valuable to me, thank you very much, right? And over time, as you go through that process, you get better at actually assigning numerical value to that. But for starters, let's look at the qualitative value. And the qualitative value is in large part in the beginning, what other people think. So you're kind of building a following inside your company of people who see you as someone who helps them and is supportive of them and adds value for them. So let's take, for example, the onboarding process. If we look at the onboarding process, you might have 3 people come in a quarter onto your team. You've worked with your HR business partner, you've agreed with your manager that you're going to do this small project over a period of time and see if you can help new people hit the ground running faster. And you're checking in with them to see if they are hitting the ground running faster, and you're checking in with their managers to see if they're hitting the ground running faster. And so what you're doing is they know who you are. You treat them like they're your customer, which is really unusual for a junior new person coming into a company. If they get treated like, I'm here to look after you, I'm here to support you, you're my customer, I want to build trust with you, I want to build a relationship with you, I want to take care of you and make sure that you're successful. They now recognize that as something that's unusual for them because they're used to being told what to do all the time. So what you're doing is you're supporting them in helping them be agents for their own success inside the company. Once you start doing that, you now begin to build a bit of a following of people who are going, oh, this person's fantastic. You're great at what it is that you do. Thank you very much for supporting me. And then over time, what you'll see is that there are numbers that you can begin to put around that. Hey, this person hit the ground running after 3 months. They were able to contribute to this project. We wouldn't have been able to get this project over the finish line if we hadn't had that person come in and onboard as fast and as successfully as we did. That produced an X% increase in the number of units we sold, or X% increase in our time to market. And you begin to see how the numbers tie into that. So best thing that you can do for visibility of your work is to have internal customers who you can deliver delight and satisfaction to, and who you were taking care of and adding value for. As you get ready for this next move, or you look to prepare yourself to get promoted, I have a promotion readiness assessment, which is promotionreadinessassessment.com. It's also a link down in the comments. It's worth taking because it allows you to be able to reflect and see whether or not you're ready for your next move. As you do the promotion, let me know how it works for you. Put something in the comments below and tell me how it goes. I'm continuously improving it, but right now it's a very powerful self-reflective tool. And let me know whether or not you're ready. And let's see what we can do to help you get ready and get that next promotion.